Hello, everyone. How are we doing today? It's me, your teacher, Mr. Tardy, here with a recording for the Chapter 23 Bio Quiz Notes. Okay, there we go. Chapter 23 Bio Quiz Notes. I had a couple students who are going to be out, so I decided to take the opportunity to give them a recording and get that done in advance. So, today, we're going to go over the notes. Let me tell you what we can anticipate on this quiz. We're going to be expecting 15 multiple choice questions, 6 sentence structure questions, and 3 short response. And again, sentence structure questions are questions that are fill in the blank or true and false. You get your word bank with that, so we should be rocking fine. We're going to start by going through all 15 of the multiple choice first. So please pause as you determine necessary. Take a break, write it down. I'm going to type. I'm going to try and go at the right pacing. But yeah. So let's see. What do I want to write down first? The vascular system of roots mainly consists of, now if you remember when we talked about the vascular plants, the vascular tissue that occurs in plants, there's 2. There's the phloem, and the phloem is for nutrients, and the xylem. Xylem. The xylem is for water. Those are the 2 big things that evolved in plants to help make them the next big competitor. Plants were small, then they evolved vascular tissues like phloem and xylem, which allowed them to compete heavily with other major plants. Okay, let's see, what else do I got? I mean, stems consist of 2 types of growth. Not cycles, 2 types of growth. Primary growth is where the stem grows longer. And we'll add another one. Secondary growth is where the stem grows thicker. Oh, there we go. Oh, taking a look. I can't see it on the recording. Oh, gotta change you right here. Just move you up a little bit. There you go. You guys should be able to see that fine. So, 3 that I've got down. Vascular system of roots mainly consists of phloem and xylem. Stems consist of 2 types of growth. Primary, stem grows long, and secondary, where the stem grows thick. Take a look at the next set of questions. Okay. In flowering plants, remember, flowering plants are referred to as angiosperms. It means ovaries. Angiosperms. That's what makes a flowering plant a flowering plant. The xylem consists of tracheids and vessel elements. Oh, misspelling right there on xylem. Make sure that's correct. Tracheids. Tracheids. That's correct. So in flowering plants, xylem consists of tracheids and vessel elements. Let's see. The tip of a shoot is where you find a meristem and where mitosis occurs. Now, if you remember, meristems are the parts at the tips of stems and the tips of roots that allow them to grow longer and stronger, continue to cycle that process of making more and more and more. That's where you'll find them at the tip, and the tip is where mitosis occurs. Okay, let's see. Root pressure is produced in the vascular cylinder by active transport. Now remember, roots take in water and nutrients. So as it continues to take in water, the active transport keeps pushing more and more water in. More water in a condensed area is going to lead to more pressure. So the active transport, which is taking the water in, is going to cause the pressure to increase. And when the pressure increases, there's only one way for it to go, which is up. See, I think I could fit another one in here. Stems carry water and nutrients from the roots to the leaves. And if it's a flowering plant, and flowers. Does that make sense? Not all plants are flowering plants. Think of a tree like a pine tree, no flowers on that. But the stem works as a very important piece of transport. Transports the what's a good color? Let's do nice blue. Said blue. Oh. But if you remember, I guess we're going pink. If you remember, stems are very important for holding the plant in place in terms of keeping the leaves growing, the flowers growing, and branches growing. It's also very important for sending nutrients to the entirety of the plant. It's very important as a middleman of the plant. So let's go on to a new page. Let's see. The endodermis is the outer layer of a plant that encloses, or not a plant, of a root that closes, not encloses, encloses. Long day, trying to type stuff out, get a little more done for you guys. Is the outer layer of a root that encloses the vascular tissue. You can think of it like a root's skin. Okay? Like our skin is the outer layer that encloses all our organs and our veins and our bones. The endodermis is the skin of the root. Take a little sippy sip. Aloe vera drink is interesting. Sweet. What haven't I done yet? In plants, vascular tissue consists of xylem and phloem. Mr. Tardy, you said that already. Yes, it's very important. That's why I say it again and again. The xylem and the phloem are two. The xylem and the phloem are two very important parts of the plant. They help to redefine what a plant is. So it's worth mentioning again and again. I am going to mention it again and again. Okay, did that one. Did that one. Did that one. Ooh, I did that one. That. Did that. Did that. That one. Okay, so then we're at this one. How do I phrase this? Leaves have the primary job of photosynthesis. If a plant doesn't have leaves, then the stem takes the job of photosynthesis. Mr. Tardy, what do you mean? Plants have leaves. You just said that, didn't you? Yeah, I mean, I did say that a lot, but there are some very rare exceptions of plants that do not have leaves. One type that you can think of is the cactus. Right? The cactus grows in the desert, and it was very inefficient to grow leaves because that takes too much energy and too much water. And so the plant that survived and managed to evolve in the form of the cactus was just a giant stem. You really think about it. And so the stem still needs to make the food. The stem took the job of photosynthesis. Also, if you think about it, in the winter, trees lose their leaves. They still survive and make food. Yes, they store a ton of food until the winter comes and goes, but the trees still do make a little bit of photosynthesis. Okay, so let's take a look at the next one. Ooh, it's a little tiny. I don't think you guys want that. Put this like right here. Okay, what do I want to say? Ground tissue, which again was a type of tissue, is found in all three of the major plant tissue types. Those being roots, stems, and leaves. Right? All plants have these three types of tissues, three types of organs, if you really think about it: roots, stems, and leaves. And ground tissue is found in all three of them. Let's put you right here. Let's see. The stomata on a leaf is what allows CO2 to come in and O2 to leave. Remember, CO2 is carbon dioxide, O2 is oxygen that we breathe in. Plant uses carbon dioxide to make its food and its sugars, and the oxygen is a waste product. The stomata is the part of the leaves that takes it in and lets it out. So you can think about it almost as like the nose of the leaf, or the nose of the plant. Adhesion is the attraction of water molecules to any other type of molecule. If it's water molecules to the same type, then we call that cohesion. But since it's water molecules to a different type of molecule, then that is adhesion. Let's just do a new page. You know, take a second, get this written down, pause if you need, but we'll dissipate the different terms so it's nice and clear to look at. And we'll go to a new one. Okay. Put that like right here. Let's see what we have. According, this is kind of a long one, to the pressure flow hypothesis, when water moves into a nutrient rich region of the phloem, the pressure increases. That's a lot. That's a lot. If you remember, the phloem is in charge of moving up nutrients. Now, the nutrients are solid, and so they need to be dissolved in a little bit of water in order to be liquid and moved up. When the water moves into that region, the pressure increases. As that pressure increases, it gets to be forced upwards. Because if you squeeze a bottle, the water inside has nowhere to go except for up. Does that make sense? Oh, drop my cap. Oh. Let's see, what else do I have here? It is theorized that the stomata is on the bottom of the leaf, since it would reduce water loss due to evaporation. All right, let's think about it. Let's think about this. We got our plant right here. And let's give him like a nice little pink flower. Okay. We got the sun beating down all day onto the plant. Now we know that plants need soil for its nutrients. They need CO2 to make their food, and they need water in order to process themselves. So, as the sun continues to beat down, if the stomata was on the top of the leaf, then it would start to evaporate, as water tends to do in heat. Even if it's not directly exposed, the stomata's openings would allow the heat to go in. But if the stomata is on the bottom of the leaf, then the leaf protects the stomata from getting that direct contact from the sun, which means that it can breathe easy without letting the water evaporate. Oh yeah, I did one on blue. Okay, and this should be the last multiple choice if I'm correct. Okay. Yeah, let me check. I don't want to skip any questions. Let's take a look back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I did throw in a little bonus one. Okay. So let's take a look at a stomata. The stomata is going to look a little something like this. And you got some dots right here. And you have the cells of the plant going on. And the CO2 enters and the oxygen can leave. And there's a little bit of opening right here. So we take a look right here. It's figure X. Because of the widespread nature of it, we can tell something about the water pressure. And that is that the water pressure in the guard cells are high, or is high, singular. So if it is thin and squeezing in on it, then the pressure is low because there's nothing pushing out. But if it is wide and concave, caving out rather than convex, then it is high because the water is pushing out more than the outside's pushing in. Does that make sense? So if it's looped out like that, the guard cells are high. Whoa, okay. Oh, almost forgot to put blocks around it. Okay. So you can pause, take those notes if you need. Kind of dragged on. So here we're going to move on to the sentence structure questions. Here we go. So sentence structure, I'm going to phrase everything as it's true. You'll have the word bank. One of the things that you might want to know is that meristems are found at the tips of stems and roots. Meristems are very important for plant growth, and what allows them to keep on growing on and on. In humans, you know, we kind of reach a point and we stop. Plants can keep on going forever, so long as the cells permit. In xylem and phloem, cells that keep their organelles and nuclei are referred to as companion cells. So if they're a companion cell, that means they keep their nuclei and they can keep their organelles. Leaves are the main organs in plants that do photosynthesis. Again, remember, the stem can take care of photosynthesis if there is a situation in which the leaves aren't working properly. But the leaves' primary job is for photosynthesis. The stomata opens and closes in order to balance water loss and carbon dioxide intake. I'll type these all out, then go through each one a little bit by bit. Actually, no. So the stomata, again, is the part of the leaf that takes in CO2, exits out O2, but as it opens, water has an opportunity of leaving. And so it opens to let in CO2, but then closes to keep the water in. That way it's balanced and it's not losing too much. The endodermis of a root contains a waterproof zone called the Caesarean strip. So the root needs a way to keep the water in so it's not losing it. So there's that waterproof zone on the endodermis or the skin of the root called the Caesarean strip. Helps keep the water in. Root hairs. These are the little segments that kind of shoot off the root in order to give it more surface area. Think of like the little hairs on a carrot. Root hairs are made up of dermal tissue. So this is going to take care of our sentence structure questions. Again, take a pause if you have a question. Reminder, there's 3 types of tissue. We've talked about some of it, like the vascular tissue, but there's also dermal tissue and ground tissue, and dermal tissue works more like skin tissue. Now we're moving in to the short response questions. There's 3 of them. So, take a look. In the xylem. No. The job of the xylem is to transport water upwards. The job of the phloem is to transport nutrients and food to where it is needed. So that could be upwards or downwards. If the roots need a bit more food, then it can be sent downwards. However, water is not sent downwards. It's just nutrients or the food. During hot days, you can anticipate stomata to be closed. This is because the stomata needs to preserve water, right? The plant needs to preserve water. If on a hot day, the stomata is open, then the stomata is going to let the water escape. It's going to evaporate. So hotter days, stay cold, and just wait for cooler times. So wood is a trait of dicots, since wood is a result of secondary growth, which is exclusive to dicots. So trees and shrubs and any other woody plants like asparagus are dicots because they have wood. They have wood because they engage in secondary growth, where they keep making layers and layers. So again, if you remember that statement from earlier, secondary growth allows it to grow thicker. The inner layers don't leave, they're just grown around it. They don't merge, they make those rings. But that's going to do it for today's set. Hopefully you are ready for the quiz. Please take these notes, study up, and good luck on your quiz. Have a great day. Bye-bye.